Newport closest to screen right now. They are in the hands of the starter, and they are away. They're going to make their way a long way up the beach here, Sam.
Yeah, that's exactly right. A long run to start things. We've seen the sweep in action, and that is exactly what we're seeing in force now. The tactics behind that as well, making sure that you run further up the beach so you can be pushed back onto the first can. And it did look like Emily Doyle from Newport, who did make the go of it and took the most direct line to get into the water first. Stu, you noticed that she was wearing an orange rash vest. That's something we're going to see throughout this afternoon. She is our series leader, and that is how we identify her. And straight away, well, she's powered to the front, and now she's up and waiting. So you spoke about that dropping tide a little bit earlier. That is it on show now.
Yeah, that dropping tide allows these athletes to be able to get up onto that second bank and work their way across and through that bank. And as you can see, it's your series leader. It's Emily Doyle. She probably had the advantage in this race here where she started position 40. That meant she had the least amount to run. But even then, she backed her ability and she attacked, because you see some of the girls that went a little bit further, she's actually on the more southern or the more northern side of the south. So she's really stuck to her own tactics, stuck to her own race. As you can see here, the BMD Northcliffe girls start to work their way into the race as well.
Yeah, that's right. Just what line these athletes took as they try and line up that first can is really what's going to be the #1 determinant so far this afternoon, because you saw in the board just how much you have to get that right. The swim, that importance is tenfold, because I dare say it, if you miss that can, it's going to be very hard to swim back onto it.
Oh, for sure. It's almost race over. You miss that can, it is done. Your day is over. You may as well turn around and go in and just hand your decal into the judges right there. But as we can see, the girls, they make their way into the open water now. And it could be that Manly cap of Naomi Scott, quite possibly out in front at the moment. And on the heels of her, it might be that of Taylor Halliday from the Alexandra Headlands Club. But as they turn now, they're caught up on that. Look at that. Whipped around there. So these girls are still going to struggle to get around that there. Haven't quite timed it perfectly. We're going to have a bit of carnage on this can right now.
A clean run for our leader made all the difference, because you can see those competitors now getting caught around that first can. And look at the gap that has opened up for our leader. We believe that to be Naomi Scott from Manly. She's currently sitting in 3rd place on the overall series so far this summer. Her swimming has been unbelievable so far throughout the first 2 events. If she takes the win here, Stu, that will be the series wrapped up for her. So no wonder she's swimming with a bit of intensity and a bit of determination, because that line is getting closer and closer with every stroke.
And chasing her is Lani Pallister, and there's a wave underneath her right now. So Lani Pallister of Alexandra Headlands, she would have loved this race to be a lot longer than what it is. She is a distance specialist, and she is a swimming superstar. One to watch at the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games coming up as Naomi Scott tries to fight over the top of that. I think she's left the door open here, Sam.
The door is open, and especially because of the fact that Lani has taken a more direct line, Naomi is going to have to try and milk this little body wave for as long as she can. Outstanding body surfing to hold it, and she goes through the backwash as well and stays with it. But there's a bigger one behind with more competitors on, Stu.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see, the wade starts now. She's just trying to get out and in front, but someone goes straight past her on that wave. Surf skills there.
Unbelievable.
From the young girl of Alexandra Headlands. It does look like it's got the 2 stripes. It's a Newport. It's our series leader. It's Emily Doyle.
That was as good body surfing as you will see anywhere in the sport. And now it's a race into a drag race towards the sand. Naomi Scott looks as though she might have a slight advantage at the moment over Emily Doyle, but it's all going to come down to this run. Naomi Scott is up and running. Emily Doyle a slight stumble, and Naomi puts the foot down now. It looks as though she's starting to extend that lead. A big smile on her face. She thinks she's won it, and as she rounds that flag, she has certainly done that. The Mr. Strange Eyewear swim race champion, Naomi Scott from Manly.
Yeah, and Emily Doyle there, valiant effort there to finish in 2nd spot. I think for her, that'll secure the series for her. So I think over the broad series, the 10,000 events, she's accumulated the most points. So she's going to be our series champion for the Mr. Strange Eyewear swim series, but it's Naomi Scott that takes.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. Those conditions are super tough out there. Like, there's a massive sweep and then also a bank to tackle as well. So I sort of just cut it a little bit finer, and it ended up paying off. I got through that break pretty quickly and managed to get away from the rest of the girls and sight the can. So yeah, it's definitely a very tricky race and lots of skills involved there that I learned back in Nippers. So it was good to be able to use them. But yeah, really happy with that race.
Love hearing the throw to Nippers. It definitely paid off. And the body surf. Have you been practicing that leading into this Tour and Partners Shannon Eckstein Classic?
Yeah, for sure. Always practicing my body surfing, something I've really had to work on. Come from a swimming background, so getting those surf skills in is always really important. But yeah, it's just an awesome event, and Northcliffe have put on a really great carnival along with Shore and Partners, and I'm just super grateful to be here.
Naomi, congratulations. I know you.
Thank you very much.